Hi, today I'm going to explain about an American romance drama film called Cashback. The movie's main character is Ben, a 25-year-old with a youthful appearance, known for his kindness and gentleness towards others. Despite his friendly demeanor, the reality is quite different. Ben isn't a typical serial killer, but he possesses the power to stop time and indulge in his desires. Unfortunately, he uses this ability to inappropriately undress women and engage in his favorite activity, painting their nude portraits. This behavior is not how he always was, though. Ben, like any ordinary person, had a loving girlfriend and a bright future ahead of him. His only aspiration was to paint nude women. The movie then takes us back 5 weeks earlier when things started to unravel. Ben and his girlfriend, Susie, get into a heated argument where she insults him, and he decides to end the relationship. This further angers Susie, and she begins to throw objects at him, leading to a pivotal moment where time seems to slow down for Ben. After the breakup, Susie swiftly moves on and finds comfort in another guy. When Ben sees them together in the college cafeteria, he becomes upset. To cope with his emotions, he decides to enroll in art classes as a way to keep himself occupied. Ben's passion for creating portraits dates back to his childhood, and he effortlessly produces stunning paintings that even impress his art teacher. He excels in crafting hyper-realistic human portraits, particularly earning recognition for his exceptional skill in depicting male anatomy. However, during the night, Ben faces immense difficulties coping with the breakup. Susie's memories haunt him whenever he tries to rest, leading to insomnia. Day after day, he becomes a sleep-deprived wreck, as the memories of his ex-girlfriend take a toll on his mental health, pushing him into depression. Consumed by remorse and agony, Ben eventually reaches out to Susie, begging her to return and apologizing for the chaos he caused. However, despite his desperate efforts, Susie declines his plea and abruptly ends the call. This rejection plunges Ben into a deeper state of despair. He longs to freeze time, yearning for solace in admiring women's bodies and boobs. In the following days, Ben endeavors to keep himself occupied. He reads books, watches movies, and embarks on solo trips to different cities. Nevertheless, the persistent insomnia hampers his focus, leaving him restless during nighttime. As a result, he begins taking aimless journeys in the dark as well. During one night, while wandering around, Ben stumbles upon a job opening at a nearby supermarket for a night shift position. Recognizing it as an ideal way to occupy his time and earn some income, he wastes no time and submits his application. The next day, Ben secures an interview with the manager, Jenkins, and successfully secures the job. This marks a turning point in his life, bringing him a sense of happiness that he hasn't experienced in a while. As Ben settles into his new job, he observes how his colleagues each have their own ways of passing the time. Among them, Sharon Pond, the cashier, stands out with her distinctive approach. She cleverly conceals the clock with various objects, convinced that time will pass more slowly if she avoids looking at it. Next, there's Barry Brickman, a mischievous coworker who never takes work seriously. He partners with his equally cunning friend, Matt Stevens, in playing pranks on female customers, such as discreetly placing adult toys in their bags. Some customers are surprised when they discover the unexpected item, while others find it amusing enough to keep. Their boss, Jenkins, appears completely indifferent to time. He frequently indulges in egoistical speeches, boasting about his success and wealth, and as he goes on, time seems to fly by for him. Among all the night shift workers, Ben adopts the most peculiar method of dealing with time. Amidst his profound sadness, he detaches himself from reality and time, utilizing his superpowers to freeze the world around him. This allows him the freedom to engage in whatever he desires during those moments. Unlike typical scenarios involving superpowers, Ben doesn't exploit his abilities for personal gain or engage in explicit activities. Instead, his sole focus is on enhancing his artistic talents. With a deep appreciation for the female form, he chooses random customers, respectfully disrobes them, and skillfully sketches their portraits. For Ben, it's purely about preserving his passion for art and not driven by any lustful intentions. Now, this has become Ben's routine. He sketches the portraits, redresses the subjects, and then unfreezes time with a snap of his fingers. Although he isn't proud of his actions, it has brought a measure of relief from his depression and distress. Gradually, he finds himself drifting away from his feelings for Susie, regaining some semblance of stability and sanity. At home, Ben frequently spends time with his lifelong best friend, Sean, who is quite different from him. While Sean is determined to pursue sexual encounters with women, Ben, on the other hand, engages in such activities without their consent. It's unveiled that Sean has a history of visiting every strip club in the city. During one of his night shifts, Ben finds himself in the locker room with Sharon, the cashier. Although he has feelings for her, he struggles to gather the courage to confess. As they converse, Sharon playfully takes a bite from his sandwich. Startled by the situation, a small piece of pickle clings to Sharon's cheek, and she attempts to remove it clumsily. Sensing her struggle, Ben comes to her aid and gently wipes it off, resulting in a rather cheesy and tender moment between them. As Sharon prepares to leave and heads for the door, Ben wishes he could freeze time and savor the moment for an extended period. However, before he can fully grasp the opportunity, Sharon departs. Later, while focusing on his work, Matt unexpectedly appears from one of the stalls, announcing his plans to go to the movies with Sharon. This news deeply upsets Ben, and he finds himself pondering why he always seems to face such unfortunate circumstances. During a trip down memory lane, Ben reminisces about his school days, where he experienced his first love for the smartest girl in class, adored by everyone. Unfortunately, she suffered an accident and ended up with a heavy cast on her arm. Her classmates would write encouraging messages on the cast to lift her spirits. Although Ben also wanted to write something, he couldn't gather the courage to approach her. Regrettably, Ben's hesitance resulted in missed chances. A few days later, the girl took off her cast, and while everyone was relieved to see her well, some noticed hair on her arm and started mocking her. Seeing the girl in distress, Ben seizes the moment to comfort her, offering his support unconditionally. He takes her to a private spot and reassures her of his presence through thick and thin. As time passes, their bond strengthens, and they become lovers. Out of the blue, the girl asks Ben if he wants to kiss her. Overjoyed and without hesitation, he eagerly accepts the invitation, and they plan to meet at their favorite spot over the weekend. Ben is ecstatic at the prospect of experiencing his first kiss with her. In the days leading up to the weekend, Ben becomes restless and sleepless with anticipation. When the long-awaited day arrives, he arrives at the spot early and waits expectantly. However, as the hours pass, the girl doesn't show up, leaving him heartbroken. The next day at school, Ben discovers that the girl has moved to another city with her parents. It's the first time he experiences a sense of helplessness and deep sorrow, leaving him in a state of profound depression. In the present, Jenkins assembles all his employees, announcing a friendly football match with his friends. Though Ben and the others are not enthusiastic about playing, they find themselves with no alternative but to participate. In the match, the supermarket team suffers a crushing defeat since none of them are skilled players. The opposing team consistently scores goal after goal, leading to a staggering score of 26-0. Frustrated and fed up, Ben decides to freeze time and retreat to the locker room for some respite. Unexpectedly, another person unfreezes and rushes out, exposing the fact that Ben is not the sole individual with this special ability. After a brief pause, Ben resumes time by snapping his fingers, returning everything to normal. In the chaos that follows, Matt carelessly kicks the ball, accidentally hitting Jenkins in the face, resulting in him being taken to the hospital. The rest of the teammates leave, leaving Ben and Sharon alone. In the following scene, Ben and Sharon visit a nearby diner to spend time together and delve into deeper conversation. During their talk, Ben discovers that Sharon is, in fact, single, and that Matt was only joking about dating her. They openly discuss their dreams and aspirations, connecting on a more personal level. Sharon reveals her desire to meet a painter, believing that they have a unique ability to perceive the true beauty of things, perhaps even against their will. While they converse, it becomes evident that there is a strong chemistry between them. Following their informal outing, Ben accompanies Sharon home, and in an awkward moment, he mistakenly plants a peck on her cheek instead of the lips as she had hoped for. The pickle incident plays on his mind, causing the mix-up. The next day, an injured Jenkins informs everyone about his upcoming birthday party. Sharon invites Ben to accompany her as her date, and he joyfully accepts the invitation. Afterward, Jenkins summons the boys to his office and assigns individual tasks for his birthday arrangements. Ben is given the responsibility of hiring a stripper for the party. Though he has never spoken to one before, he knows exactly the right person who can assist him. Later on, Ben seeks assistance from his best friend Sean, promising to take him to the party if they can successfully accomplish the task. Together, they visit a nearby club where Sean, with his expertise, manages to hire a girl for the birthday celebration. The following morning, Ben receives an exciting call from an unknown art enthusiast claiming to own a gallery in the city. This person expresses a keen interest in featuring some of Ben's artwork. Overjoyed by the newfound recognition, Ben feels appreciated for the first time in his life. However, little does he know that it's all a prank call orchestrated by Barry and Matt. On the night of the party, Ben dresses up and goes to pick up Sharon. Excitedly, he shares the news about a well-known organization expressing interest in showcasing his artwork. Sharon warmly congratulates him, and together they proceed to the party. Upon their arrival, the party is in full swing. Sean faces rejection from a girl, while Matt and Barry dance wildly. Jenkins takes charge of the DJ duties. Suddenly, Barry spots his ex-girlfriend, Susie, who happens to be dating Jenkins' brother. As the stripper arrives, the party takes an exciting turn, and Sean is particularly drawn to her. Meanwhile, Ben heads to the bathroom, and Ben unexpectedly encounters Susie. She quickly states her desire to reconcile and rekindle their relationship. However, Ben has already found the love of his life and has no interest in getting back together with her. Despite his clear refusal, Susie persists in her persistent attempts to convince him otherwise. Unexpectedly, Susie forcibly kisses Ben, prompting him to push her away. To his dismay, Sharon witnesses the entire scene. Ben tries to explain that it was not his doing, but the distressed cashier departs without giving him a chance to clarify the situation. Later, Ben rushes to Sharon's apartment, desperate to explain the truth, but her anger blinds her to his words. As she starts hurling obscenities, Ben becomes upset and decides to leave. The breakup sends him back into the depths of depression and insomnia. The only glimmer of hope he holds onto is his upcoming appointment with the art gallery company that had contacted him. In the following scene, the long-awaited day arrives, and Ben arrives at the gallery with his finest artwork. As he suspected, the gallery owner denies any knowledge of their appointment, leaving Ben feeling pranked. However, as he prepares to leave, the owner notices some of his sketches featuring Sharon and expresses interest in seeing more. Impressed by the artwork, the owner offers Ben a night to showcase his pieces in the gallery. A few days later, Sharon receives a formal invitation to Ben's art exhibition. Despite her anger, she chooses to attend the gallery. To her surprise, Sharon is astonished to find that the artwork on display is all about her. Ben decides to dedicate all his artistic endeavors to Sharon, forsaking portraits of other women. She is the love of his life, and he finds it impossible to focus his gaze on anyone else but her. But how does he have such precise knowledge about the shape of her nipples? Forget it, okay? Later, Sharon and Ben finally reunite. Despite Ben's attempts to explain the party incident, Sharon tells him it's unnecessary as she now understands the depth of his love through his artwork. Their understanding brings them closer, and they share a romantic kiss amidst the art gallery. In the concluding scene, Ben employs his powers to freeze everything once more. However, this time, Sharon can also move in the frozen world. They venture out into the snow, surrounded by countless suspended snowflakes. In this magical moment, the two share another passionate kiss, bringing the movie to a joyous and heartwarming conclusion. So, that's it. Be sure to comment with your thoughts below. If the video feels good, then like this video. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified of our latest videos. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.